Hello everyone, I'm Aaron, a birding naturalist. Welcome to my channel. How's everybody feeling? Feeling stressed at all? Depressed, anxious, anything like that? Well, it turns out birds may be able to help a little bit. So there's a solid body of research about how nature can help people's moods. Us humans, we like green spaces, we like being near water, we like being in natural environments. It makes us feel better. Some recent research that sort of has been accumulating over the last several years and even the last few months has really dialed down and drilled into the benefits of birds on humans' mental well-being. And it's been some pretty cool research, some pretty cool findings. People have found that being exposed to bird song or visually being able to see birds definitely yields reduced rates in depression, anxiety, stress, stuff like that. It reduces our levels of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. It reduces things like blood pressure. Definitely some measurable, distinct health benefits from being around birds. And the research has been precise enough that they really did isolate birds. It wasn't a matter of being near running water. It wasn't a matter of being able to see trees. Those are good. But this research specifically sort of controlled for all those other variables and really got to the benefits of birds, bird song and bird visuals. And found that one, it helps people with diagnosed mental health conditions and also people without diagnosed mental health conditions. It helps people across the board. The benefits can be pretty long lasting. Benefits to stress and anxiety and blood pressure, all those things that I mentioned earlier, can last for as long as 8 hours after hanging out and listening to and seeing birds. Other research has shown that sometimes the exposure doesn't even have to be all that long. You can start to see benefits of exposure to nature and bird songs from as little as spending 3 minutes out in a natural environment or listening to bird songs. Now, there are certainly some factors that probably weigh into that. You can imagine that listening to bird songs on your computer is probably not going to yield the same results as listening to actual birds in real life. You could imagine that maybe looking at birds in a parking lot might not yield as great a benefit as looking at birds in an open green space. And those all may be true. Those all may be sort of confounding, supporting factors. But even without all those other sort of factors, just listening to bird songs does yield benefits. I think that's awesome. And because it's both listening to bird songs and seeing birds, either one, I think that really speaks to an accessibility issue of birds. And one of the things that I think is really great about birds and birding, kind of a birding for everyone mindset. People with hearing conditions, they can see birds. They can still get these benefits. People with seeing conditions can still hear birds. They can still listen to birdsong. They can still get these benefits. I think that's great. I think it really speaks to how impactful birds are, how many different ways there are of experiencing birds, and how all of those ways are all beneficial to us. I'd be curious. I don't think anyone has done this research, but I'd be curious to see if you could find people with maybe sight and hearing conditions. Maybe they are blind and deaf. But allow them to like feel bird feathers, maybe. Figure out some other way of experiencing birds that would be open to them. And to see if they then also gain some kind of mental health benefit. I'm guessing it would work. I don't know if anybody's done it, but I'm guessing it would work. I think it would be a really cool study to do. Also, the fact that you don't have to be out with birds for very long and paired with how long the benefits last get me thinking about what kind of impacts that could make on all of our daily lives. If we all take our lunch breaks and go out and listen to some birds, that might hugely affect the rest of our day. Maybe it's not lunch breaks. Maybe you go out before you go to work, before your day, just when your day is getting started. Go out, listen to some bird songs, and then carry those benefits for as long as you can. Maybe you do both. Sprinkle in bird song throughout your day. I think it's a really cool thing. That's one of these sort of very relatively small things to do. You can listen to bird songs anywhere. There are birds all over the place, in parking lots, in shopping centers, in urban environments, in suburban environments, and yes, in agriculture environments and in sort of more natural environments like where I am today. There are definitely birds that you could find in all of those places. And because they're so available, relatively easy to find, relatively easy to hear, I think that's amazing, and I think that we could all really benefit from sort of paying attention to that and making the conscious choice to go out and consume some birds in some way, bird song or visually. Not eating, that's not what I'm talking about. So, a little bit of fun information on the mental health benefits of birds, birding, bird sounds, bird sights. I hope you find that interesting. I certainly do. It's certainly something that I've been thinking about for a while now and continuing to just sort of feel my brain churn on the subject. It's been fun, and I hope you join me if you have ideas on how to incorporate birds into your life or birds into the rest of our lives. I'd love to hear them in the comments. And I hope that you manage to go out and, look at some birds, listen to some birds. Thank you very much for the view. If you like this video and what I'm doing on this channel, please subscribe. And until next time, enjoy the natural world.